Essentially, we were looking for people who looked like an icon, and a number of people immediately came to mind by the way they looked. But essentially, I guess they had to have a backbone of good improvisational skills, being able to leave the ego at the door, having the opportunity, again, for a flexibility of schedule and mindset. And the only way really to determine whether or not they were any good was to put them in the situations in which we would be filming, which is why the audition and the workshop process was fairly lengthy, and there was a camera there all the time.
I did a lot of things. Surely you know who the great Caesar was. I don't need to tell you. Okay? Suddenly, I felt a very, very sharp pain in my chest.
I don't really know much about kind of running a house either. I mean, yeah, what was I? So I am working.
You know, perhaps help conquer the whole area. Like the neighbors. Who are they? They look disgusting. Is this going to be a problem?
Essentially, I had to come in on Saturday mornings it probably ended up being about 2 months, and met a lot of very interesting and eccentric people in the hopes of casting them for a role in Icon. Various roles, the main roles, but also a lot of the people that we cast ended up being extras in the thing. So my role was just to sit down, took them through a couple of very basic trial scenes, scripted by the writer-director.
And you know what? Are you a good cook? Because I'm not, and I do love German cooking. I like a big stew.
The woman will cook.
The woman will cook. No, the woman will not cook. We will all take turns in cooking. There are a few house rules here that you all need to know, and that is, I'm not going to clean and cook.
Thomas, who's, God rest his soul, he's been dead about 2,000 years. And so I just decided to try and devise a few things to help you really visualise who I am and what I represent and where I come from. A lot of people are expecting someone taller, which is natural, and if you've been reading the press of the Jehovah's Witnesses or the Mormons, you'll be expecting someone blonde and blue-eyed. Of course, I was born in Palestine, so that's not the way it's going to happen. If you ever doubt anything, you can look at my stigmas. They've healed up actually, which is
We spent a lot of time in workshops, which essentially was throwing people together. And the first sort of group scene, I remember, I had the intention that it would be a free-for-all, and I got what I'd wished for. It was pretty intense. People were very autocratic in their performance. They were shouting, not listening. And I think it was great. It was a good exercise, certainly for me, to see what it was like if I had 7 people who were all playing, you know, characters of strength, improvising in one setting. And it helped shape and mould how I saw the rest of the concept working.
It's our dinner.
Okay, guys, listen, there's something I need to talk to you about.
Certainly.
So, obviously, we've decided that you're all going to stay here, but...
May I say that was an excellent decision.
C'est bon, hein?
Thank you.
Yeah, but...
Bravo, Rose.
Thanks. But, how are you guys going to pay rent? I mean, I know you said that you had gold and you said I had notes with your name on it and all that, but, I mean, realistically, you're going to have to get jobs and pay me, you know...
I thought it was fairly obvious. We'll go out and get a job.
Job is a profession.
Okay, that's great. So, what are you going to do then?
What is it?
Can you just tell me a little bit about each of you, because it's a little bit strange. So, look, we'll start with you. Can you just...
I am the servant king.
The servant king?
And in heaven, the first will be last and the last will be first. I'd rather not go first, if that's okay.
Right.
I feel like I'm here to serve, and I feel I want to give.
What sort of service would you bring if you came to this house?
Oh, sorry, you haven't got my name. My name is Jesus, son of Joseph, descended from King David, son of Mary, of the Immaculate Conception, and various stained glass windows and iconography in the Russian Orthodox Church. I have come to Sydney to seek my fortune in children's parties, for no one actually believes in my miracles anymore, and I'm reduced to cheap conjuring tricks. And
yeah, kicking the nuts, I like that. Okay, well look, how about then you talk me through what you boys do. How'd you do it then? What's your modus operandi?
Well,
What'd you say?
What's your MO? How'd you do it then? How'd you pull off the gigs? How'd you do it?
Well, I got the guns.
Who's the brains, who's the brawn? How does it work? You got the guns?
I got the guns.
Right.
I got the brains.
That's right. Okay, so what, you tell him to shoot, do you?
Yeah. I make the plans, right?
All right, so what's your plan then?
It's simple.
All right.
Right? You wait till there's hardly anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
You wait for a big day. A big day.
Right.
When you know there's going to be a lot of cash.
Yeah.
You go in there with the pistol.
Right.
You point it at the person with the money. You tell them to fill up the bag.
You fill it like that.
Right, okay.
That's right.
Is he your anger man, is he?
Yeah.
All right.
He's the scary one.
All right, okay.
Go in there, they fill up the bag, you drive away. It's simple.
All right, so
no
if they...
bow and arrows, no nothing. Nobody gets hurt.
So no one ever gets hurt then?
Well,
not if they behave themselves.
All right, all right.
I busted my ankle once.
Yeah.
Wasn't my fault.
Once he fell over.
He fell over, did he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't my fault.
You boys are a bit of an outfit, aren't you?